Everybody, and welcome back to F1 TS Hub. We are back in 2018 with a bang. We are here for round 11 in Hungary. It's been 3 weeks and I can't wait to see these Podium boys back out there. Odems, did you have a nice Christmas?
I had a wonderful Christmas, thank you. Got a lot of nice goodies.
Good stuff. Did you get anything overseas at all?
I did actually. I got a 2 sizes too small F1 TS Hub shirt. It was very nice.
Well, we like to give everyone some objectives heading into 2018, so you know what yours can be. Last time out, apologies actually everyone if I sound a little bit funny. I'm just recovering from the flu, which I had last week, so it's just on the tail end, and if I sound a little bit strange, that is why. Odem's last time out before Christmas, these guys provided absolute thriller in Silverstone, and the Boogster stole his first win. The stewards actually penalised Techno Thriller, and he fell down the order, which gave Boogster the win, who started on pole, of course. So first pole, first win in Silverstone, and looks like he's going to be another driver who's going to be challenged up there for those podiums in this podium tier.
Definitely. After Dweller came in, these two have really stepped up their game, and there's some, like we have a de facto top 3 of Kian, who's not racing today, Techno Thriller and Lamine, but you see people like Dweller and Bookster, they're now getting in on it, so that's just going to amp up the excitement even more.
Yeah, definitely, and we're not at the easiest track we haven't come back to, so whether these guys have been doing practice over the last few weeks, we don't know, but this isn't the easiest track to hook up a lap in qualifying, especially when, you know, there's under 10 minutes left of the session now. We have the super soft, the soft and the medium tires available. Everyone except for Emphatix and Jamie are on the super softs currently, but not everyone has left the pits, so we're riding on board with the Ferrari driver, Lukey. Let's see what he can do. Turn 4, Odems, one of the trickiest corners on the entire F1 calendar.
Yep, it is. You just have to get it so precise. Again, with the downforce added on from the 2017 spec cars, it's a lot easier, for sure. But it's still a very tricky corner to get right. You can understeer and get yourself a warning. You can turn in too early in fear of understeer and get yourself a warning as well. Or you could just lose the back end on a worn tire, or even on fresh tires. It's that tricky, as Jonas is getting held up behind Jamie. I don't think Jamie was on a lap, so that's going to be annoying for Jonas. But yeah, very tricky corner. It's going to be interesting to see how the drivers navigate it.
Well, here we are. Lukey is coming to the final corner. He's going to be one of the first drivers to set a lap time. We'll ride on board with him as we cross the line. Jonas was on a quick lap, so he set a lap time, and Lukey goes just behind, a 10th and a half. Jamie did set lap time, he was on the mediums, okay, but it was some 7 seconds off the pace. So Techno Thriller whacks in a flyer, an 18.3. Sifler's come in 8/10 behind. So there we are. Those are the times that some of the top boys are going to be looking at as the Boogster carries on from where he left off in 2017. I bet he didn't wish anything to change for a New Year's resolution.
Nope, he was very strong in the Silverstone race, straight from the gate, doing so well in quali, and now and in the race, and now he's setting down a marker again with an 18.1, which is a very competitive lap time.
Just riding on board with Ols as he's going to come across the line. What time is he going to be able to do in his Haas? He goes into 10th position. Jamie has spun it.
Yeah.
He's on the grass. Wing damage as well in that Toro Rosso. So he'll want to make his way back to the pits. No, it hasn't been the start to the year he wanted.
He was holding up Jonas on, then he let him go when he ended up setting a 125. And now he's got so much debris on his tires and he's lost the front wing. Really not a good start for him.
Yes, Gaza is on an outlap himself. Marvik, Ali, who is new, we haven't mentioned that Ali's joined the Mercedes, taken over from Craig. So Ali is new for new F1 TS Hub. He's new to the league. This is going to be his first race. Hugely nice guy, great to have him around the paddock, so we'll be keeping an eye on what he can do today. But Lemaine as well has a set lap time, so we've got 4 drivers yet to set a time. The Bookster currently on pole, and the gap between him and Techno Thriller now is literally, what's that, 2000s?
Wow, it's going to be interesting. We had a practice session yesterday. Techno Thriller, he said a 17.6. Bookster, I'm not sure where, I think he said a 17.8, so those two are definitely some of the quickest drivers around this track so far, at least. We don't know if anyone else. Dweller is only a 10th behind those two, so who knows what he can do. So yeah, imagine these two will definitely have a say on the podium positions.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, we don't know the weather. We can only see that it's dry for qualifying. Just riding on board with Ali, he's done a 28.4 first sector, navigates turn 4, what looked to be pretty perfectly to me. So what can the new driver do? What can the Mercedes driver do? How important, Odems, is it in your first race in a new league to just get a good lap time in your first flying lap and a good qualifying under your belt?
Well, usually when you join, oh, that's not what he's done. He's lost the back end hugely there, and he's still. Oh no, off he goes. That's front wing damage. Yes, it is. You jinxed him, Nick. Yeah, he lost the plot of his car completely there. The nerves are definitely high for the first race, especially in qualifying, because you really want to impress. You want to send a signal out there to people that you're here. Not to fill up the numbers, but to, make a statement.
Well, he's going to have to come in.
Not a right one. Yeah, and he comes.
Come in and change the front wing. Lemaine's still yet to set a lap time. He looks to be on a quick one so far. So what can the other Mercedes do? Can he keep it together? Unlike his new teammate who made a mistake. What can the championship leader do? He is the championship leader heading into the new year. I'm sure he'd like to finish the year with a championship under his belt, but it isn't going to be easy. The Mercedes driver needs to pull everything out of his car as the DRS is open, 18.8, only enough for 6th position. So top 7 separated by 7/10 of a second. It's still pretty close, Odems, and being Hungary, a place where it is difficult to overtake, unless you're myself, of course, yeah, you're going to want to get a good qualifying.
You are for sure. Following a car is so hard around here because any small little, especially if you're faster than them, because any small little mistake they make, you're gonna suffer from it as well. So yeah, qualifying is pivotal around here.
Do you know what? I was watching some highlights the other day of the season so far of this podium tier items, and I was thinking about Matt, your daddy. He was leading in Baku, but we haven't really seen too much from him other than that performance. But he does have flashes of pace in that Ferrari.
He does, yeah. Not just Baku, he's shown it in Canada, I believe. He's shown it in what other track was it?
China,
might have been
perhaps?
Austria. I think it was yeah, China, definitely. China. And flashes in Austria as well. He definitely has the pace, but he makes so many mistakes. Because you'll see in those highlights as well, he made a lot of mistakes. Just small little errors. He loses his front wing quite a lot. He definitely has he has the credentials, I think, to win a race, or at least get a podium, as he's shown in Baku. But he just needs to iron out these small little mistakes, and we'll definitely see him challenging for wins in the near future if he can do that.
It's just 2.5 minutes left to go. Technothriller has left the session, so we can only presume a disconnection or something like that. Maverick and Ali are still yet to complete a lap time. Jamie is currently 7 seconds off the pace. Emphatic is 2.8. Other than that, everyone else up to 14th is within 2 seconds of each other. The Bookster out on another flying lap. Look to cement his position. Anyone who wants to set lap time is going to need to go out with about a minute 35, minute 40 left in the session, so they can get round and get that max fuel on. Odems, who's your money on for pole? I need a quick answer.
Techno Thriller if he comes back into the session.
He's currently in the pits now, so will he be able to leave the garage? Is the Boogster on a quicker lap? That is the million-dollar question right now. He's in Sector 3, going round the penultimate corner, passing the pit entrance and up to the final corner. He's going to exit it, get on that DRS. He won't have enough fuel for another flying lap, so this is what it's going to be. It's an 18.0. He does improve, not by too much, just a tenth of a second. So that is the provisional pole position. Techno Thriller hasn't left the garage yet, so we can only presume that is how Techno Thriller will end the session in that garage, sitting in his Sauber car. So I'm not sure if he's been able to get back in or not. It did say he joined, but he hasn't been able to get back out on track. Meanwhile, Odem's Dweller, what can he do? He's only 2/10 of a second. Or if he can just find a little bit of time within all these twisty corners, then perhaps he can steal pole position here. What can Kev do? He's up in top 5. What can Stifler do? Odems, it's going to be exciting. Matt, your daddy's up to 8th now.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Dweller. He's going to be the nearest to set a lap, I believe. He looks to be taking all these corners very tidily. I'd love if he's stuck it on pole, to be honest. I think I said he was going to win in Austria. This is a pot shot of a statement rather, and he pulled it out of the bag. So he definitely has the talent, has the pace. Let's see where he'll put it on the grid. Stays third.
So he doesn't improve, but will he have enough time and fuel for another lap? He has 1.35 laps worth of fuel, but if he wants to run max, I don't know if he'll be able to run for the entire stint. And Stifler is almost, as Gaz has retired, what's happened to Gaz? Stifler was on par with his previous lap. Gaz has binned it. Gaz has binned it after the chicane, after left-right hand chicane. Turn 6 and 7, I believe that is.
Yeah,
he has lost.
Stifler's backed off as well.
Front end. So Ali has set a lap time 4.5 seconds off the pace. Maverick chose not to set a time. Tall Boogsters come in. Dweller is half a tenth off in sector 2. Stifler is 1.4 off, so he's backed off. Razart's finished his lap. Kev, what can Kev do? What can the Sol Williams driver in today's race? Kian, of course, won't be attending, so what can Kev do? He crosses the line. This is going to be a quick lap. That moves him up to 3rd position. So what can Dweller do? Dweller's up. It's showing Dweller is up 1.5 seconds. What can he do? He's going to come across the line. He's low on fuel. He's going to give it everything. He takes pole position, Odems.
A lap. What a lap. That is impressive by Dweller.
Lukey's up. He's the last man.
Every bit of fuel.
Lukey goes 11th.
Dweller eked out every bit of fuel, and Dweller eked up every bit of fuel in his car, and he set a stormer of a lap, and he just, and I mean just, pips the Bookster. Great end to the session, as usual.
That was fantastic, and you called it again. So I did an exclusive with Dweller this week in the forum, and it was fantastic getting insight to, you know, a man who doesn't have that many words, but he's only going to stuck it on pole position, the first pole of 2018 at F1 TS Hub. Can he keep it there? It's a track which isn't the hardest to do, so you have to say, Odems.
Yeah, if you're decent on the brakes, decent on straight line speed, you're going to be a tricky customer to overtake because of the characteristics of this track. It really suits that.
So let's run down the order as the timer counts down for the session. It's already ended. No one else is going to set a lap time. We've got Dweller on pole position, his first pole position at F1 TS Hub, so congratulations to him. He just pipped the Boogster, who we thought was going to be starting his 2nd pole in a row, but it wasn't to be. Techno Thriller, who disconnected, we think he's back in now, will be starting in 3rd position. Kev, that's a good 2 tenths off in 4th. 5th is Stifler, 6th is Razar, 7th, a lonely 7th down there for Lemaine. He would have been hoping better for that. Jonas in 8th, good result from him. Matt Your Daddy in 9th, Spider Atlas in 10th, Lukey in 11th, free to choose his strategy of course. Emphatix in 12th, Greenfin in 13th, Gaza Bindit in 14th, Ols is in 15th, Jamie is in 16th position, newcomer Ali in the Mercedes is in 17th, and Maverick will start last after not setting a lap time.
So yeah, a pretty Le Mans gonna be very disappointed in himself. He's starting 7th and he's on the same tire as everyone else. This race should be a one-stop. I expect some people to 2-stop, but it should be a one-stop as the gap between the top 4 is very close, which gets me very excited for this race. Yeah, Not Your Daddy, Jonas, Spider Altis, they're not going to really like those starting positions as well. They're almost smack dab in the middle.
So it's going to be a tricky first corner. The grid is, as we read it out, no changes from the confirmation of the results. But Odems is going to be a bit of a fiery start to 2018, is what I'm thinking tonight.
Yep, looks like we could have some fireworks a bit late.
It's never too late for fireworks.
I suppose.
So we'll wait for everyone to select their strategy, select their fuel loads. Odems, what will be going through these drivers' minds as they're doing all that on the grid? Do you think they'll know exactly what they've been doing? Or do you think some of them will be going, scratching their head and watching that timer countdown and going, what on earth should I be putting in this car or putting on this car?
Well, fuel is a lot different to last year's game, where you could get away with putting minus maybe 1 or 2 laps of fuel and you'd be fine, but you can't really do that now. You have to be especially around this track, you would think that being a rich mix isn't that beneficial, but setting a few laps around here in the same mixture in rich, it gains you a lot more time than you think it would. So you would like to be able to use rich mix when you want, especially if you're stuck behind the car and that you're trying to overtake. You want to deploy rich mix as much as possible to make that move. So I would expect a few laps, not a few laps, maybe 1 or 2 over the fuel.
Odems, I want to make sure you're sitting down for this, but we've got the top 10 drivers, obviously all starting on super soft, which is what they qualified on. But then from 11th to 18th, they're all on the soft tire. So it's almost like we're going to have a battle of 2 races here in one.
Yeah, the soft tire, it'll start off slower than the super softs, but it'll take a while, and they'll pretty much be quicker than the super soft runners. So the soft tire, I'd imagine, would guarantee that that's just a one-stop, because that's the quickest strategy around here. So starting on the softs is very beneficial, but they're in the middle of the pack, you know. So it's going to be another thing to keep their front wings all nice and cozy on top of their cars.
Well, we won't have long to find out exactly what happens. A 35-lap race here. This is F1 TS Hub. This is the podium tier every Friday at 7 PM. And this is round 11 of Season 10 here in Budapest. All the drivers are lining up from their formation lap onto the grid. Odems has been a fantastic first half of the season so far. We're going to kick off the second half of the season. And Dweller is first pole position, a few title rivals just behind. Lemaine out of the picture, the championship leader, and Kian not even on the grid for today. So 5 red lights, here we are, and away we go in Budapest. Techno Thriller gets off to a pretty good start. I can see that both Salbers are going to be challenging into the first corner here. Bookster's defending like mad on the inside. Dweller goes right round the outside of all of them. Is Techno Thriller going to try and hold it? No, it looks like Bookster's got the line. Kev is going to come back at him into turn 3 here. And we've got Stifler going down the inside of Kev. So that, is he going to pull that off? They touch wheels as they come into turn 3, sorry, now. And Stifler's off wide. He's now lost the position. Lemaine, Jonas are both up too. Odems, take it away.
Wow. Lemaine has done so well to get up to 5th place. As there's a crash in the background, Stifler. Not Stifler, I think it was... No, it was Stifler. He just lost the back end on turn 4 and smashed his left wing end plate into the barrier. I think he took someone else with him, I believe, and now he's just causing a huge pile-up. So he's rightfully letting everyone go, which is fair play to him. But, wow, huge drama at the start of this race. It looked like he might have tagged someone, in fact, as the top 3 get away as cleanly as they started, and Kev is lurking in the background. again, though, Lamine has done so well to get into 5th place. He's going to be right up there for contention of the race win now.
His teammate, meanwhile, just going off and losing a position. There is Red Bull in the background going off as well. I think that's Maverick. The Mercedes still yet to get back safely onto the track. We've got Toro Rosso there coming into the... Sorry, not Toro Rosso. Force India coming into the pits. We've also got Matt Your Daddy and Stifler. So Stifler must have got damaged there, Odems, and it looks like after a bit of carbon fiber flew across the track, so did other drivers. So is what it is. The top 4 don't really care. They start this race onto lap 2 how they started it the previous time round.
We were talking about Matt Your Daddy just getting caught up in making these little mistakes. I don't think he made a mistake that time. I think he might have been involved in Stifler's little moment there, because I was looking on Kev's view and I was looking backwards and I just saw Stifler on the wall. He might have got caught up in that. So did Infatix possibly. So very, very unlucky. This is not a track you want to... Well, maybe, you know, he'll have clean air. He'll have all the space in the world to just set in some quick lap time. So who knows? But as we go to the front of the field again, Kev is catching Techno Thriller, and Bookster is right on the back of Dweller. So we still have a lot of racing to go.
And Lemaine's not too far behind. So top 5 all within DRS zone. It won't open, of course, this lap. It'll open at the end. So let's find out exactly what they can do. So does the Bookster. Bookster looks. Now we've got Techno Thriller defending on the inside, as you mentioned, to Kev. So here we go. What's Kev going to do now into the next corner? Can he do anything in that Williams? Nope, thinks better of it. Lemaine must be sitting there just rubbing his hands going, I'll wait for you boys to make a mistake or have an accident, and then I'll just do what I have been doing all season and sail through. Ali gets a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding into the pit lane. He's the 4th driver to come in so far. Lap 3 out of 35, Odems. We've got a race on our hands.
Yeah, we saw in Bahrain where Lamine was just following the 2 Toro Rossos, and he was just taking positions on people who were making mistakes. It looks like he could even do the same thing, but for higher stakes. He's just chilling in 5th place, hoping these 4 rather have an incident. But,
Speaking of
incidents, lead change at some point, because getting a bit hectic at the top.
Not just at the top, Odems.
Has the pace on a Dweller.
Look further down, you can also see that Jonas, Spider Atlas, Razor and Gaza are starting to find themselves within a little bit of a train, and we saw that in Canada. They had a good scrap all the way through. So the two McLaren drivers close to each other again. Spider's there again, and so is Gaza. And in fact, he's bringing the champion Luki along for the ride. So Greenfin and Ols, both Haas drivers. As we're seeing now, Spider Atlas trying to go down the inside into turn 1. Jonas does give him space, but holds it around the outside. He's going to get a better exit now. And I think Spider might have to go around the outside again. He isn't going to find a way around there. Can he try the cut back? No, Jonas covers it off perfectly. Great defensive driving there from Jonas. Exactly how to defend around turn 1 and 2 in Hungary.
Yeah, he kept it nice and tidy. Spider Ox had nowhere to go, as there's a bit of lag. I think Spider Ox has just lost a bit of his front wing from that. He did. Or maybe he lost his front wing early. No, I think he definitely lost his front wing from that. Now there's an almighty train waiting to pick up the pieces. That's so unfortunate for him. I think that was just lag. The books are so close to the back of Dweller.
So here we are. The Bookster still chasing down Dweller for the lead. He stole his pole position and now he's stealing his race win. So who's going to be the first driver in 2018 to take the checkered flag? We've got 31 laps to figure this out. Odems, 1 stop, is that what we're expecting from these drivers?
Yes, and now we're also expecting the Bookster to take the lead as he goes around the outside of Dweller. He breaks late. He's gone a bit wide with Dweller, yet Dweller takes the position right back. That was very close. Dweller just let Bookster have his own piece of track as Bookster goes down the inside again. Dweller gives him the room, but Bookster just cannot make it. It was great racing from these two, nice and clean. Dweller just led Bookster still right around the outside, and he kept his position. Techno Thriller is right on the back of this. We can have a 4-way scrap as Bookster misses his apex. And Techno Thriller missed his rear end, and now Kev's going down the inside.
Kevs needs to pick his moment here. He's chosen a few bad overtakes so far this season, and he just needs to pick the right one today. Perhaps he can pick up another position here, because these drivers are really pushing each other to the limits. It has to be said, they'll all be running high fuel down the straight as they try and defend. But Bookster did get such a good run down that main straight, and it has to be a little bit worrying and concerning for Dweller. How is he going to be able to keep that Mercedes engine behind for the entire rest of this race? Is he really needs his teammate to come to his aid here a little bit?
Yeah, the Bookster looks like the quick. Like, he got it right up to the back of Dweller so quickly. Once again,
look at the exit now.
Yeah, he looks to have a lot of pace in this race, and he's got some good straight line speed. He goes around the outside again. He brakes late. Will he keep it tighter? He will. He's side by side with Dweller. He's got DRS. Surely he's going to make the move stick this time. Dweller's going to have to employ some late braking. He pushes it wide. Dweller just about. No, Bookster's taking it. Bookster's taking the lead off of Dweller, and we have a lead change.
We have a lead change, lap 6. The Bookster now leads this race. He is back where he wanted to be at the end of 2017, and now we've got the 2 Sauber drivers in 2nd and 3rd. And Techno Thriller will be wanting to perhaps get on the radio and say to his teammate, hey, I'm in this championship fight. I need to chase Bookster down and get all the points that I can get. But Dweller, if he keeps up this pace, you know, scores podiums and pole positions for the rest of the season, there's no saying he can't be, you know, a dark horse for this championship, Odems.
It's true. Yeah, I asked him this in the driver's press conference. Kian also said this as well, that if Dweller had started racing the same time as everyone else, it would be a 4-way scrap for the championship, which is very nice words. Because yeah, look, the Bookster's run, even when he's in front, you see the Bookster get such a good run. And Dweller just really does not have an answer to that. He tries to switch him as much as he can, but I think the Bookster even has him on straight line speed. So it's gonna take something almighty from Dweller if he wants to take this lead back, as there's yellow flags.
Lukey.
Oh, Lukey is gone. He had something with Gazaman, I believe. Gazaman was also. Yeah, wow. Gazaman's lost his whole entire front wing. Something almighty happened there.
That is halfway down the pit straight as well.
Yeah, I just turned onto them and I saw Gazaman with no front wing and Lukey just facing the wrong way.
Virtual safety car.
Gazaman's got a huge gap to Greenfin though, so this virtual safety car is going to be very helpful to him. He's going to be able to maintain the gap and then pit as quickly as he can. So this front wing change won't be as detrimental as it usually would have been. But that is terrible. I wish he caught that, because that was quite violent.
So anyone who pits now, of course, won't lose as much time pitting under the virtual safety car. Razor was already in the pits when that happened. So is the virtual safety car coming in now? I think yes, the virtual safety car is in. So didn't last for long. We'll just wait for this lap to come to an end, and then we'll run through who has pitted and who hasn't. But I believe it's all of the top 11 yet to come into the pits. Odems.
I'm on board with Techno Thriller. His tires are shot. You see it. He's just drifting everywhere, really. He tried to take a nice wide line through the last corner, but his car and his tires were just not able to keep up. He's struggling a lot, it has to be said. And who knows? Kev is usually quite a smooth driver. He could be all over the back of him, and so is Lamine.
Audience, we had Greenfin and Jamie going down side by side on the main straight there. I had my mic muted, so I was commentating to myself. But yeah, Jamie went down the inside, I believe, on the Haas driver. So Maverick, of course, didn't set a qualifying time. He's up to 8th position now. Everyone from 9th down has come into the pits. Everyone 8th and up hasn't done so. And it is quite a slow stop here. Spider Atlas is all over the back of his teammate, the two Renault drivers.
Lamine got Kev. I didn't see it, but I just noticed. I don't know how he managed to do it there. He must have got an almighty run out of turn. I don't remember what corner turn that is, but he's got an almighty run out of it, and now he's up into 4th place, and he's going to be sizing Techno Thriller up real soon, I imagine. as there's this yellow flag in Sector 3 still for Matty Daddy. It seems his car is not getting removed, and I imagine if anyone tries to overtake through there... Sorry, Lukey, yeah. I imagine if anyone tries an overtake through there, they're
gonna have to hand the position back, surely.
I don't know. They might, yeah. It says in Sector 3, but I think he's just beyond the pit straight, so it might be Sector 1. So yeah, we have to watch out for that later on.
Yeah, he is. You're right, Adams. He's halfway down the main straight, so he's actually crossed, you know, where the start-finish line, which is where Sector 3 ends. So
yeah,
be interesting to see whether that proves a little bit difficult, even harder to overtake, maybe for these guys today. But Greenfin is up to 7th position. Jamie is up to 6th position. But the top 4 all within DRS, except for the Bugster, who is pulling away. Second behind, and yeah, you're correct, Dweller is struggling, so perhaps his car was set up for qualifying. But now look, one small mistake and Lemaine is all over the back of Techno Thriller, and Dweller has a couple temps breathing through.
Yeah, Techno Thriller is struggling as well. He's just struggling a bit better than Dweller, because Dweller pits on lap, what lap are we on? 9. 9, yeah. Lap 9, that's a bit early. I imagine he's 2-stopping then. He was struggling a lot on those tires, so I'm not really surprised. As now it's, here we go, the top 2 in the championship. This is something we would have loved to see. The top 2 in the championship now having a scrap for 2nd place. I imagine Techno Thriller is going to pit this lap though, because his tires look completely dead. And the mine looks to be keeping it nice and tidy. He could be 1-stopping.
So there you have it. Lukey's left the session. His car's being removed, Odem, so we don't need to worry about that any further. But let's just have a quick look, see who is on what tyre. The top 4 are all on supers. Then we've got 5th all the way down to 10th on softs. A few medium runners and then a few more soft runners as well. So it's looking pretty tasty in terms of strategy and on track. We've only really focused, Odems, on virtual safety car. So something has happened again to bring out a virtual safety car. I didn't notice any yellow flags or anyone dropping down the order, so yellow flags, maybe, perhaps his car is being removed now, but it is only a virtual safety car, so let's see what this does to the field. Anyone who wants to pit now is going to. So Bugster comes in, the Bugster pits from the lead of this race. Techno Thriller doesn't do so.
I'm surprised he didn't.
Lemaine doesn't, Kev doesn't, Dweller
I imagine
could lose out here.
He just felt like, I imagine the Buster didn't even need to pit, he just decided to do so, to take advantage of the virtual safety car, which is still on, by the way. I imagine the Buster, it's gone now, so the Buster's gained a lot.
Yeah, the Bugster's on the medium tyres, presumably going to the end. Dweller came out on softs, Odem, so you're right, he must be 2-stopping.
Yeah, he must be 2-stopping. I think the Bugster has benefited hugely from that. He's probably 1-stopping rather, and I think he just pitted not out of necessity, but out of a luxury. And he can take his mediums to the end, no problem.
Yeah, so
he's 5 seconds ahead of Dweller. Wow.
the Bugs just come out only 13-second Odems behind the race leader. So where a pit stop would normally cost you double that, he's managed to half it from pitting under the virtual safety car. Why on earth did Techno Thriller or Lemaine not do the same thing?
Shocked. I'm shocked because they were behind him as well. So surely that, oh wow. The Bugs has played a masterclass here. It's 12 seconds now because his tires are fresh. Techno Thriller is not coming into the pit, neither is Lemaine, neither is Kev. So I imagine these two are one-stopping as Lemaine has gone right along the alongside of Techno Thriller. Here they go, here he goes down the inside. Yep, he's made it stick before even the first corner.
First and second in the championship after 10 rounds of season 10 went toe-to-toe down the straight, and it has to be said, Adams, Techno Thriller didn't have an answer for Lemaine on that occasion there.
No, Lemaine just snuck it down the inside before Techno could even make a defensive move, and Lemaine just took the position from him.
Hold on, here comes Razor.
Razor's coming down the inside,
and Maverick for 8th position into turn 1, so that's job done. Red Bull driver didn't fight him too hard. That was late on the brakes though. Good job there from Razart. We've seen that a lot from him this season, where he's had to make moves on the brakes. He's been able to do it in that McLaren. No other drivers in DRS zone other than the top 3 now. Kev is right on the back of Techno Thriller.
He's struggling so much. He wants, you can tell he wants the one stop badly. As Kev goes on the inside there. I don't know why he tried that. Maybe he just broke a bit late. You can tell Techno Thriller really wants the one stop, but his tires are just not on the same wavelength as him. As all 3, nope, Techno's still not in the pits. Kev and Lamine up to pit. Techno is still not pit.
So Kev and Lamine are into the pit lane for their first round of stops. Now the Bugster is already, they haven't even got into their box, and the Mercedes has now, but Bugster's already gone past. They were only separated by I think 4 seconds was what the Bugster had before all that happened. And look at his lead now. When Techno Thriller comes in, he's going to be absolutely laughing. Dweller is
he's
4 seconds behind, but he's got to stop again.
Yeah, he's 9 seconds behind Techno Thriller after a pit stop. I think, bar any catastrophic mistake, the Bugster has played a blinder here.
Techno Thriller's got a penalty
at this point as well. Yeah, the Bugster could actually comfortably 2-stop at this point as well. That's how much pitting under the virtual safety car has gotten him. And it seems the Greenfin's fan base has arrived in the stream comments.
Yeah, go Greenfin. Currently in 7th position. Let's have a quick look and run through who has stopped, who hasn't. Techno Thriller's retired for the session. He must have binned it, Odems. He's binned it.
Yep, must have. He was pushing that car way too hard. Way too hard. Lap 13 on the super soft. He should have pit ages ago.
Lap 13, unlucky for some, unlucky for Techno Thriller. One of the championship contender virtual safety car out again. But yeah, he's dropping down the order.
I think that was just a poor decision from him. He had so many chances to pit, but he just chose not to. He could have one-stopped so easily on the medium, but he just opted not to. And you reap what you sow. And he's in the barrier, and Lamine is laughing his head off at the moment.
So I imagine Kian will be sitting on a train all the way home from Birmingham. If he's watching this, he'll be smiling to himself, going, I am glad I didn't try and rush back when his main championship rival, one of them of course, isn't scoring any points today. It's been a bad start for 2018 for Techno Thriller. But as you said, Adams, he had the chance to pit. He pushed those tires too much, and unfortunately, that's what happens. If it was another track, Adams, he could have got away with it, but you just can't here. You just need so much grip from your car. Otherwise, the lap time just completely falls off, and you can't recover it, because if your tires don't have any life left, then it is what it is. And that's a corner that's high speed. It's very narrow, this track. The walls aren't far away, and you've got grass in between at all times, pretty much. So that is exactly what happened, and commiserations to Techno Thriller, but he'll have to live to fight another day. Stifler, meanwhile, is back up to 9th position, so he's been pumping in some competitive times and doing what he's got to do to get back into the point scoring position. Evertik is also in the point scoring position, and guess what? Speaking of Greenfin's fan club, he's up to 5th position, guys.
He is, yeah, and he doesn't seem to be struggling as much as Techno Thriller was. A note on that, I've noticed that I always try to run 10 ballast around here, and when my tires got a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit worn. The 10th ballast, it just completely, you just lose all sorts of grip, and it's just so hard to control the car. I believe Techno Thriller's car is set up to qualifying. I was telling Nick before the race that we had a practice race, and Techno Thriller actually out-qualified me. So I imagine he set up his car for qualifying, because he set a 17.6 that day. So but obviously he got disconnected from qualifying, so he couldn't even capitalize on that. And now he's paid the price, and he's sent the car right into the barrier. Jonas, meanwhile, is right on the back of Jamie. We saw this in Russia, where Jonas was just all over the back of Jamie and couldn't make an overtake. If you can overtake in Russia, I don't imagine he'll be able to make the move stink in Hungary.
Yeah, the only hope he's got is that it's easier to make a mistake around this track than it is at Russia, it has to be said. With all these twisty turny sections, it's just so easy to get a little bit of your tyre on the grass, and suddenly 3 or 4 corners later you're still trying to recover, and perhaps that's what Jonas is hoping for today. But this is for 7th and 8th position. I've been running on board now for a lap with these guys, and it looks, as you said, Odems, exactly how it was in Russia. Lukey doing what he needs to do to keep the McLaren driver behind. They're both on the medium tyres. Greenfin's into the pits. Yeah, sorry, Jamie. So Greenfin is into the pits, so he's the only driver who hadn't stopped. Let's see where he comes out. He's gonna go on to presumably he started on the soft, Odem, so will he have to go to the medium, I suspect?
I imagine. It looks like they're giving him super softs, but that might just be a glitch. They're giving him mediums. No, super softs. He went back onto the super softs. So
he started on softs.
With the proper strategy.
He started on softs,
he
so
could have gone to the mediums.
So he'll be 2-stopping this race as Jonas actually overtook Jamie there. I just caught the end of it. Into turn 1 that was. So there you go, Odems. He showed you that basically you were talking rubbish. And was that lag or was that no? That must have been lag. He swerved all the way across the track there.
As well. He did that in qualifying as well. I think he just swerved last minute to get the full girth of the track. He did it very violently, so I don't think that was lag. I think lag might have perpetuated the situation and made it look a lot worse. But I think he actually did just kind of violently move to the left as he's gone a bit wide, and Jamie's going to be looking on the back of him once again. I've
just switched over. We've got Spider Atlas versus Gaza versus Matt Your Daddy, all within half a second of each other. They're coming through the twisty section. Now, virtual safety car again. So, what's happened now? These drivers are going to have to slow down. And Razor dives into the pit, so this is the second time he's pitted under virtual safety car. If you're by the pit entrance, Odems, you might as well come in, because you don't lose that much time.
No, you don't at all. That's how Razor was actually overtook Greenfin. That's how Razor overtook Greenfin, even though Razor had stopped at that point, and Greenfin hadn't, because Razor barely lost any time. I think this might be a glitch, by the way, with the virtual safety cars, that when one comes out, that the others just come out in tune. We had one where we didn't believe it came out for any reason. Another one came out when Techno Triller binned it. So I would not be surprised if there were more virtual safety cars, unfortunately.
Well, we're back underway.
It may
whatever.
ruin the aesthetics of the race. It may ruin the aesthetics of the race, but could provide for some action either way.
Well, the Podium boys never disappoint in that respect, it has to be said. 7 PM every Friday night. If you're interested in joining the league, head over to www.f1tshub.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you like what you're watching. We have live race updates over on Twitter at F1TS. If you fancy joining our waiting list, as I said, there is an application form on the website to fill out, and then we can get your name added to that ever-growing list. But Dweller's got it down to 2 seconds to the Bookster now. We haven't mentioned this, but the Bookster is still leading the race. Dweller is in second, Lemaine is in third, and Kev's doing a solid job today in fourth position, Odems.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a very good job keeping Lemaine honest, and if he stays here, he's going to do his teammate a lot of proud, because you know, he's been quick, but he's been inconsistent. He's made a lot of crucial mistakes, a few times even from the lead. So yeah, he's got his head down. He's minimalized his mistakes, and I think he might even be catching Lemaine. I think Lemaine might have made a small mistake, as Razor is now on the back of Stifler, and Greenfin rather is on the back of his teammate. So we'll see if team orders come into play. I know these two had a pep talk in the group chat before the race, and yeah, I want to see if that sort of camaraderie translates to the track, if Greenfin will be allowed to go through on him.
I'm running on board with these three just behind them, but let's switch over to the two Haas drivers. One of them goes wide, and the other one goes through.
Went wide.
Give a quick mention to Ols, who's sporting a black helmet for today's race. It's the anniversary of his father's death tomorrow, and commiserations to him, obviously, but a huge moment I'm sure for him tonight to show his respect, and of course we all here at F1 TS Hub would like to say our respects for tomorrow to Oz and his family, of course.
Looks like Spider Altis, Matt Your Daddy, and Gazman are still three-pronged, but it looks like no one's really gotten close enough to make a mistake. Gazman might try one down the inside. No, he chooses not to make a lunging move. It looks like, I'm not sure if these might be just battling for these outside positions. Spider Altis is pit. He's on the medium, so I imagine he's going to the end. Gazman had that huge crash with Matt Your Daddy's teammate Lukey, so who knows where he's going to filter out. And Matt Your Daddy pit at the start of the race as well. So I think Spider Altis out of these three will just be sort of hanging out. Doesn't feel the need to make any decisions.
So we can
if he wants to overtake or not.
Let's try and figure out, Odems, if we head up to our race leader, the Bookster. We can, he's either on a one-stop or a two-stop. We don't really think it matters. Although Dweller's closing him in, we know Dweller is on a two-stop and is going to have to stop again in second place. Lemaine, we think, is on a one-stop. So is Kev. And Jonas in up to 5th position now. He's on the mediums. Not sure when he put those on, but here he comes. He's under attack from Jamie now. Gets a bit of a tank slapper on the rear end as he exits the corner, and Jamie gets the job done.
Yeah, Jonas did it very late, actually. I saw him feed out behind Jamie. So I imagine he's doing it on the one stop as well. As we have another virtual safety car. It looks like for sure it's more of a glitch than anything else.
Yeah, so virtual safety car back out. I know, Odems, if I was doing 35 laps around this track, I wouldn't mind a few virtual safety cars to, you know, have a little breather, because it's just, other than the main straight, you're on it through those twisty sections of the corners, and you need to be so precise with your turning and your throttle acceleration input. And so a virtual safety car obviously gives the drivers a little bit of a breathe, as we see Jamie and Jonas still side by side in terms of time on track, as DRS now available, safety cars in. Here we go, back underway. This is our closest battle, but Dweller is now within DRS on the Bookster. I wonder what the Bookster will do here.
You probably just let him go. I imagine the Bookster is just sort of conserving his tires. He pitted the earliest out of everyone after all. I imagine he's just conserving his tires. He doesn't feel the need to get the most out of his car. I imagine he'll just not fight Dweller. That'll be the smartest thing to do, at least. Who knows? Maybe he's so bored he'll just want to have a bit of fun and have a battle with Dweller. Who knows? But I think the Dweller got a massive jump on the Bookster from that virtual safety car. He must have timed it to perfection.
Yeah, definitely. He must have done, because he's closed that gap right up. Yellow flags in Sector 3. Matt Your Daddy has retired from the session. So he has the other Ferrari on the other side of the pit straight. So the Ferrari is obviously wanting to get close to the yellow and red signs, Pirelli signs. One Ferrari on the other Ferrari on the other. They always seem to crash in the same place. They crashed in the same place in Monaco, I believe. So perhaps
same place in Monaco.
It's a case of wherever you crash, I'm coming to visit kind of thing. But Ali doing a good job on his debut. I know he's a lap down, but I've seen him a few times when I switched over on the stream, and he's always getting out the way when another car is about to pass him. So respect to him for showing respect to our race leaders. Meanwhile, the Bookster leads by half a second. Lemaine sitting in 3rd position. I'm sure Lemaine would take this result right now. His yellow flags in Sector 3. What have I done for Ali? I've commentated, cursed him right into the barrier at turn 1. I'm sorry about that, Ali.
That looked violent as well. He just smashed right into that one. Wow, that's the 4th retirement of the race.
It's like he had a brake failure or something. Yeah, I commentated, cursed him, so sorry about that. Maverick in 14th place now. Dweller is 2 temps off the back of the race leader. Is he going to try it? He is on the quicker tire, of course, so as he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple cuts on this lap. Lap 22 out of 35, Odems.
Yeah, he didn't commit into the braking point zone through there. I don't think Books was going to fight him that much. he just sort of half-assed the move. But he's going to get another go again. Will the Boxer go defensive? He's going to the middle of the track, it looks like. So he will go defensive. The Boxer feels the need to defend. I don't know, maybe he is a bit wary of the two-stop. They touch a bit. The Don is going to try a move around the outside. He's going to brake late. Will he have enough mechanical grip to get the move done? He will, and he gets it done. Great move.
Oh, the Bookster holds it. The Bookster holds it around the outside. Yeah. That's so hard to do with a corner that quick, and then gives it up into turn 4 and thinks better of it. But that is so, you have to put so much trust in the driver on your inside ends if you want to do that.
Yeah,
especially with a corner with a runoff area like that. You just know the guy on the inside is going to be so tempted to push you out. But I think Bugta deserved a bit of room there, and I think Dweller respectfully gave him that. So well done to those two for a good old few corners there.
The best thing about it is not only did he give him respect, as in he gave him space, but he actually he benefited from that, because the Buxer didn't feel the need to like stick his nose into the next corner. The Dweller showed respect, given respect back, and now he takes the lead back. And I don't think the Buxer is going to be too harmed from that. I think he would have liked to just, you know, slow Dweller's halt a little bit, not fight him hard, but just slow him down a little bit, just in case he comes back. You know, with these virtual safety cars, you never know. He could gain a lot from this pit stop. So
Odems,
Dweller into the lead.
I can't keep up with Jonas and Jamie. They keep swapping positions, but I never catch it. Jamie's back in front now. Jonas is 2 tenths behind. So these two are going to be smiling after the race, and I'm sure mentioning each other in their race reports, because they always enjoy a good scrap with each other on track. Always fair play between these boys. So DRS providing a little bit of fun for the McLaren and the Toro Rosso driver, heading down into turn 1 here. Jonas has a little look, thinks better of it. He's got his teammate, of course. His teammate wouldn't be too far away. They never are on track here as season 10. So Ols is into the pits, and yeah, Razor is just coming up the rear. Stifler is back up to 8th position, Odem. So after a mistake or whatever happened on the first lap, he's back into the points in 8th position, and it's hard to see now exactly who's going to come into the pits again, but you'd think Razor might be okay to go to the end. He pitted under that last virtual safety car for softs, but we think Greenfin needs to stop again, so does Dweller, and Maverick and Ols possibly. Ols has just come in, so Ols is going to take those super softs to the end.
Yeah, looks like it. When did Razor pit? He pit under the virtual safety car. I'm not sure when that was, but
the
he
last
might be
one,
able
a
to
few
take
laps
his
ago.
To the end. Okay, so he might be able to take his softs to the end, and he's catching these two. Well, not really. The gap is pretty stagnant. The mediums, as you'd expect, they don't really get slower at any point. They just stay the exact same throughout the entire race. In fact, I think they might even get quicker. Yeah, Razor. It's going to take a lot. He's going to need a lot of pace to catch these two and overtake, and then stay ahead of them, because the mediums, as I said, they're very.
Odem's just disconnected, so apologies if he was talking and you heard him cut out, but I'm sure he'll try and get back in ASAP. He won't want to miss the end of this race. I hope you guys are enjoying viewing this race. Thanks for tuning in tonight. As always, we've got the Pinnacle tier next at 9 PM tonight, where the quickest 20 drivers at F1 TS Hub hit the track, same track, Budapest, same rules, but 20 different drivers and the same goals. So what will Visas do? Will he be able to continue his form that he showed in the end of 2017, where he stole that win in Silverstone, described it as one of the best races he'd ever had league racing? And Odems, just welcome back. Just talking about how thrilled Visas was to win in Silverstone in the Pinnacle tier just before the end of the year.
Yeah, I was as I was doing the highlights for Pinnacle, I was noticing that he was fourth for a good majority of the race. He overtook MLA, he overtook Cliffy, and then he chased down Louis, and he managed to keep ahead of Louis due to his. He chose not to pit under the safety car, of course, and Louis did, and Louis he managed to just keep ahead of Louis. Coming into the last few corners, what was it, 800th of a second he won by?
Yeah, less than a tenth.
Yeah, it was a very, very good race for him. I imagine he was very proud of that. And it's a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's something when he says that it's one of the best wins of his career, because he's a quick driver and he's had a few. He's had more than me already, and he's only had 10 races.
Yeah, but that's not too hard. But anyway, Stifler just comes past Emphatic. Sorry, Adams, I just couldn't help it. Stifler just come past Emphatic. So Stifler did come into the pits again for super softs. So now he's going to the end, and he's going to be lighting up the timing screen on those quick tires. He's a podium kind of pace-wise. He'd be challenging for the podium if he was up there, I'm sure. Duello is in the pits also onto the supers. So that means Lemaine is up to second place, and Kev is only 1.3 seconds behind. So Kev's probably going to have to settle for fourth now. But can Duello catch Lemaine up in these last 8 laps? He's going to have to do a second a lap, but he's also going to get past Odems.
Yep. Is he on the super soft or the softs?
Super softs, and Lemaine is on the mediums.
Yeah, he's gonna chase him down initially. He's gonna get a lot of speed on him, but those super softs can go off pretty quickly. But then again, this is Hungary and the tire wear isn't as bad, so who knows? He might be able to keep up the pace, and he might be able to make it happen. 6 seconds, that's a big gap as we have a yellow flag.
Yeah, yellow flag in sector 3. Greenfin comes into the pits for a late stop. So the Greenfin is just coming out the pits now, all the way in 13th place. So his fan club are going to get to see him chase through the pack in these final 7 laps. Say that again, Odems.
Emphatic and Alls.
Yep.
And Emphatic, they were battling. I'm not sure who overtook who, but Emphatic is now the one ahead. And Greenfin is now just watching on the back of this. Yeah, I think Emphatic might have got Alls. I think that's what happened.
I think you could be right, Odems. Although Alls did come into the pits, I think, on lap 25 for a new set of super soft tyres. So his tyres should be plenty fresh. But through the chicane, he's struggling a little bit there, and his teammate is all over the back of him now. Are we going to see the 2 Haas drivers play team orders, or are we going to see them get the claws out? We'd rather see the latter, of course. Let's see Greenfin versus Alls. Up at the front, Bookster leads this race by 12 seconds after pitting under the first virtual safety car. He gained massively through that. Lemaine is in second place. Duella has closed that gap 3 seconds already in third place. Kev is in fourth. Jamie is up to fifth. So solid job from Jamie today. If he can one-stop his way to fifth position, well done to him. And Jonas is just behind. Is he going to have anything left to say in these final few laps? Are they going to go toe-to-toe one last time? Emphatic's moving up a position. Gaza coming out the pits now.
Alls just dive bombed Emphatic's. Hit the back of him. He might have lost his front wing from that, but it was a huge dive bomb.
No damage, Odems. No damage as far as I can see. No. So Duella pumps in the fastest lap. Stifler is right behind Spider Atlas as well as teammates. So we've got a few teammates who are going to get a little bit close for comfort in the closing stages of this race.
We also have a 4-way scrap to the last points position because Gazaman just came out of the pits. And he's right there behind Greenfin. So that's a 4-way scrap for first place we're going to see. So yeah, still a lot to play for in the closing stages of this race. This gap is 2 seconds now.
Look at them, they all went wide, Odems. In, I think that's turn 9. They all went wide at turn 9, all used the runoff area, the AstroTurf there. And look at them, they're almost 4 side by side trying to go into this corner. And Ols keeps a position over Greenfin there. Greenfin tried the inside. Jonas just heard me. He just got the gap down to under a second. It's back up to 1.1. But Duella is now 1.4 behind Lemaine. So there is going to be a change on the podium, I feel, before the end of this race. Bookster doesn't really care what happens behind him. 1 second now. It's going to be less than a second. Here comes Gazaman. Here comes Evertic defending. Gazaman around the outside. Inside. I thought he was on the outside, but he went to the inside there.
No,
so
Gazaman made a move on it.
Job done on Greenfin. Gaza on those super soft tyres. One of the last to pit as we head now into turn 3.
Yeah, Greenfin, I've noticed, is very tentative on the brakes. Very tentative, and that's how Gazman just swooped around the outside. Greenfin isn't, oh, I think Invalix just went, no, all just went wide, and here we go. Gazman might make another position. It should have been Greenfin who was storming through this this little group, but it looks like Gazman is the one doing it, as there's a lockup with the Haas driver once again. Here we go, though. Dweller, 2/10. He's right on the back of the line.
I'll be riding on board, Odems. The last couple corners, and the extra grit that Sauber driver has is just amazing. I don't know how Lemain's going to be able to keep him behind for these final 5 laps, but he'll be sweating under that helmet, that's for sure, by the end of this one. The gap is up to 1.6 with Jonas and Jamie.
Smart.
Yeah, he needs to drive sensibly.
That two of his championship rivals are out of this race.
Lemain can't afford to risk anything. Dweller can risk everything and anything left in that Sauber. He has nothing to lose, of course, in terms of the championship. I'm sure he'd love another podium regardless. Just quickly, Gaza is up to 11th place now, ahead of all. Spider Atlas is 8/10 of a second behind Stifler. Here we go. Yeah, Stifler just overtook then. So here comes Dweller. This is for 2nd and 3rd position in round 11. Late move to the inside. Lemain gives him room. Lemain's surely going to have a good exit and the inside for next corner. But that extra grip, that those super soft tyres, it's only a matter of time, surely, Odems.
I'm surprised Dweller didn't just swing it around the just dive bomb down the inside, because with that extra grip, as you say, he should have had plenty of car underneath him to make it so. Wow, look at that. Dweller missed the apex. Lemain took the apex perfectly, and Dweller still gained on him. I was on board with Dweller, and he's getting so much. And he has to keep careful that he doesn't hit his front wing off the back of Lemain, because of the speed difference they have through some corners.
Gaza's just got into the points, Odems.
Yeah,
he overtook Epitic.
Gaza.
So, as you mentioned, he'll be fighting for that final point, and he's done so. What can the two Haas drivers do? Are they going to have a little battle with the Force India driver before the end of this one? And looks like Stifler, now the gap maybe looks a little bit too big for him to try and gain another position, but he's up to 8th position ahead of Spider Atlas. Yeah, he's taking a wide run here to try and get a good exit. He's tucked up behind the rear of that Mercedes. What does Lemain have left in him? Does he want to get his gloves out, or does he want to keep them in for another race? Can't really do much there. He didn't seem to gain a lot.
He has no straight line speed whatsoever. Maybe it's a slipstream glitch. Maybe he's running 11 lanes. I know some people do run that around here. But whatever it is, he has absolutely nothing in his car to answer Lemain. He's going to get a good run out of here, though. Maybe he'll be brave enough and stick it down the inside. No. Lemain's straight line speed is evident to see. I think the Dweller must have some sort of slipstream glitch. Because, oh, here we go. He's going to have to pick the most unorthodox of places to make the move stick if he wants to do it.
I have seen moves completed into this chicane.
Yeah, I think Lemain may have just thought, like, maybe as soon as Dweller called to it, he may have just thought to let him go. But now that he sees how slow Dweller is in a straight line, who knows? Maybe Lemain will just fight him for that 3 extra points. Oh, he gets such a good run.
Is he going to try something here? He's going to think about it. Oh, he's going down the inside. Lemain's kept room. He's going to have the inside to the next corner. What can Dweller do? He can't hang around the end. Lemain goes deep. Lemain just outbrakes himself, and Dweller goes through. So, an uncharacteristic mistake there from Lemain. You don't often see him making mistakes like that.
No, you do not. With all that extra grip, Dweller really does not want to just swing it down the inside. He kind of broke ever so slightly later than Lemain, but not as much as you would have expected him to. His Greenfin is still stuck behind his teammate Ulls. So,
I just switched over to that.
Second place.
So
I think at the start of the session in qualifying, I said we were talking about how Dweller and the Bookster both gain pace, and how they're both sort of the dark horses, and how they can take points off of the top 3. It looks like that's exactly what happened now, as they're 1 and 2.
And we just had a pass with the Haas drivers. They both seem to get a little bit late on the brakes into the chicane, and Greenfin has got ahead of Alls now, so he's going to chase down Emphatix, but I think the gap might be a little bit too big. But yeah, Kian is going to be enjoying this one, I'm sure, seeing Lemain in third. Yeah, so damage
He
limitation
just
for
said in the
Kiam.
stream. Yeah, that techno's done him a huge favor. So was Dweller and Bookster, to be honest. They've both done him a huge favor as well. They've both, quite handily, has to be said, beaten Lemine. Especially in the Bookster's case, he really didn't have any trouble at all, did he?
Nope, definitely, and Oz has just gone back through on Green Fin, so these two definitely having a good old scrap here for us for, you know, give us a little bit of entertainment for the final few laps. The two Haas drivers leaving nothing on the table as they get a little bit close there and one goes slightly wide. Stifler's rejoined, he's slightly disconnected momentarily. I don't think he's lost a position. He has lost a position. He lost a position to Spider Atlas in that, so Spider Atlas is gained. And yeah, here we go again. So here comes Oz and Greenfin into turn 5 and 6 of chicane. No, they're still side by side as they exit it. Nose to tail now to this twisty section. And yeah, he has. Yellow flags in sector 3. Oh, and it goes wide. One of the houses go wide again. So they're side by side now. And Greenfield is in 12th ahead. So this is just for a bit of pride now, Odems, it has to be said.
Yeah, I think Spider Altis or Stifler disconnected again. Now he's in the pits. That might be what the yellow flags were for.
No damage as far as I can see on his car.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the virtual safety cars have evened themselves out. They've stopped now, which is good.
So yeah, I'm not really sure. Perhaps they were actually required because they haven't come out in the last 10 laps. But who knows? We will never know. The Bugster doesn't care. He's done everything he needs to do, bar about 10 more corners to get this second win within as many races. 2 out of 2 in his last 2. Odems, a perfect end to the year. It's going to be a perfect start to the year as well.
Yep, it is. He's done so well. He's really improved ever since he got his new wheel, his T300. Now he actually has 360 degrees of rotation, which is, surprise, surprise, useful when you're driving a Formula 1 car. So now that he's got that, he's really evolved into a much more complete package in terms of speed, consistency, just all-around driving ability, and he's more than deserved this win today.
Jonas isn't giving up on Jamie. He did get it within DRS zone. He's gone back out to a second now, back just under a second. So he isn't giving up. And these two are going to, I'm sure, commentate themselves. But switch over to the Bugster. Here we go. He crosses the line. The Bugster wins the first race of 2018 at F1 TS Hub. In the podium tier, round 11, the Bugster takes his second win, and he'll be ecstatic under that helmet.
Oh, Lemine just about missed out on a Dweller because Dweller had a penalty. He missed that. Lemine was 1.2 seconds behind Dweller. That's probably why I wanted to keep him behind so long, because he could have easily snatched.
Kev finishes 4th as well, Odems, and that's his highest finishing position at F1 TS Hub. So well done to him. Consistent race, exactly what he needed.
So
Here comes Jamie and Jonas, so close as they exit the final corner. Who's going to come out on top? It's not going to be enough. Jamie takes 5th position. Jonas just behind his 6th.
Yeah.
Razor is just coming up the rear in 7th position in the other McLaren.
Lucky pit again, Razor. Apparently, Kev had a spin from lag. Maybe he hit the back of Lemine and had a spin. That's why he was about 9 seconds off the pace. So who knows? He could have had an even better result. Spider
Atlas is going to take 8th position. Gaza claws himself back up to 9th after Stifler pitted. And that is your top 10 done for today's race. Odems, the podium boys, they never disappoint us, do they?
No, they don't. Even in such a tight track like Hungary, they give us a right treat. Make sure to include the podium celebrations, please.
Of course, I will. I would never miss it. Well, I say that. I miss being up there, but I'd never miss it on the stream. We never mind a bit of champagne. Well, I never do. Even though I had a bit too much, perhaps, last weekend. But here we are. The Bugster takes his second win. And you got to say it's been damage limitation for Thriller and Kian, as Lemine only comes home in 3rd position. But from where he started on the grid, Odems, I think he would have taken that.
Yeah, he's done so well. He's a fifth in the opening few laps. Benefited on Techno's DNF, and then I think he overtook Kev, and that's how we ended up in third place. Very good drive, but forward to the Bookster because he did so well to just hit under this virtual safety car. He gained so much from that, and he just cruised to it after that. No, and also he had to overtake Dweller, didn't he?
So first the Bookster, second Dweller, third Lemaine, fourth Kev, fifth Jamie, sixth Jonas, seventh Razor, eighth Gaza, ninth Spider, Evertick 10th, Greenfin, Ols, Renos, that's Stifler, Maverick. Then we've got Matt Your Daddy, Ali, the other Saber, Techno Thriller, and Lukey. So there we go. That is what it is. Bookster as well didn't have a penalty, so well done to him for not getting a penalty. And we've got a Swedish first and second in today's race, so it's been a good day for their country, of course. And Jamie also didn't get a penalty in fifth position, so well done to him. Odem's Driver of the Day nominations will go live on Twitter tomorrow at F1TS Hub. Who are you going to be voting for?
I think I have to give my vote to the Bookster, especially when he got no penalties. Obviously, dominating a race and getting no penalties is something I hold very dear to my heart. So I think I'm going to give it to him.
Well, there you go. If you want to vote yourself, head over to at F1TS Hub on Twitter. There is lots more to come tonight, of course, though. We have the Pinnacle tier, the top 20 boys and girl. They will take to Hungary, as we mentioned earlier, at 9 PM. So love to see you guys all tune in for that. It's going to be a fantastic race. We've got B-Sound versus MLA Part 2 2018 of the championship about to commence in just a little while. Thank you all for watching, and thank you again for our podium drivers for a solid race tonight. And I look forward to next week. Odems, thanks for joining me, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.